This video is about a tool called the Magic X. And this is a tool that we will use to help us factor. But in this video, I'm just going to talk about how this tool works. I'm not going to show you how we use it for factoring. We're going to save that for the next video. Alright, so let me show you how this Magic X works. Alright, what we're going to do is, it's kind of like a little game where we need to figure out two numbers. And these two numbers, their product is going to be the top number, and their sum is going to be the bottom number. Right? So in other words, the two numbers that I'm looking for, they need to multiply to equal this top number, and they need to add together to equal this bottom number. Okay? So can you think about two numbers whose product is 27 and whose sum is 12? And the two numbers are 3 and 9. Right? Because 3 times 9 is 27, and 3 plus 9 is 12. Right? That's the only two numbers that meet that criteria. Let's do a couple other ones. Right? So again, we're looking for two numbers whose product is this number, 40, and whose sum is 14. Right? And the two numbers are 4 and 10. Right? Because 4 times 10 is 40, and 4 plus 10 is 14. Right? I do want to mention that it doesn't really matter if you say 10 and 4 or 4 and 10. Right? We're going to consider that the same. Okay? This time, the third example, again, I'm going to figure out two numbers whose product is the top number, negative 21, and whose sum is the bottom number, negative 4. And in this case, the two numbers are going to be negative 7 and positive 3. Because negative 7 times 3 is negative 21, and negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. Alright, you're going to try these on your own. Please pause and try to figure out these Magic X's. Let's check your answers. Alright, for number 4, the two numbers would be 6 and 4, because 6 times 4 is 24, 6 plus 4 is 10. 5, the two numbers would be negative 8 and positive 2, because negative 8 times 2 is negative 16, and negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. 6, your two numbers would be positive 6 and negative 5, because 6 times negative 5 is negative 30, and 6 plus negative 5 is positive 1. 7, your two numbers would be negative 4 and negative 7, because negative 4 times negative 7 is positive 28, and negative 4 plus negative 7 is negative 11. Okay, if you missed any of those, go back and take a look and make sure this makes sense, right? Because you need to understand this in order to move forward. Alright, so now the Magic X game is going to get a little bit trickier. Okay? Alright, this time we're dealing with some expressions. And I want to find two expressions whose product is negative 35x squared and whose sum is 2x. Alright, and the two numbers that work here, or the two expressions that work here, would be 7x and negative 5x. Let's make sure that works. 7x times negative 5x, that's negative 35x squared. And if we add 7x and negative 5x, we get positive 2x. Number 9. I'm looking for two expressions whose product is 32x to the 6th and whose sum is negative 12x cubed. All right, well, in this case, what would work would be negative 8x cubed and negative 4x cubed. Let's check. Does that work? Negative 8x cubed times negative 4x cubed, that's positive 32x to the 6th. And then negative 8x cubed plus negative 4x cubed would be negative 12x cubed.
Athena, Google this to the main office.
All right. Now, I'd like you to do these last three on your own. Okay, ignore the loudspeaker. Okay, so please pause and try to figure out these Magic X's. Time to check your work. All right, so number 10. All right, we need to find two expressions. Oh, here we go again.
Taking bus 203. You will take bus 207 today.
Okay, did you hear that? Bus 203, you're taking bus 207.
203.
Okay.
We'll take 207.
Let me wait for this to finish. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. All right, we need to find two expressions whose product is negative 45x squared and whose sum is negative 4x. Right? The answer is negative 9x and positive 5x, because they multiply to get negative 45x squared, and they add up to be negative 4x. 11. Do you have this one? Right? It should be negative 3x to the fifth and negative 6x to the fifth, because those two, negative 3x to the fifth times negative 6x to the fifth, is 18x to the 10th, and if you add those two, you get negative 9x to the fifth. 12. What should this be? This should be 3xy and 7xy. Why? Because 3xy times 7xy is 21x squared y squared, and 3xy plus 7xy is 10xy.